What is going on, everybody, and welcome to xTechGaming Road to the Stanley Cup. So, if you're brand new to this series, let me explain it to you. I started this thing off at the end of NHL 15, did it all the way through NHL 16, and we're bringing it back, baby. We're bringing it to NHL 17. So, xTechGaming Road to the Stanley Cup. What the hell is that? So, we open up a base amount of packs, and I'm not sure how many it's going to be, pretty much until we have a full team. Let me actually open up a pack here and let me actually kind of explain what we're gonna do. So we're gonna open up probably 6 to 8 packs per episode, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna open up the pack, and whatever players we get within that pack, whether it's Trevor Lewis or Scott Wilson or whatever, it doesn't matter who is in the pack, we are gonna transfer them all over to a GM mode, and within that GM mode we are going to create a team, and we're just gonna use a random name. Like, it could be like literally any team you could ever imagine. We could be like the China Pirates or something. Like, you just make a crazy name and put all of the players that we pull in the pack into a one season GM mode simulation. No trades, nothing like that. We're just gonna play out the year, see if we can make the playoffs and eventually win the Stanley Cup. So this pack's not that bad. You get Mark Stahl there, pretty decent defenseman, Trevor Lewis and Scott Wilson. So we're gonna open up a base amount of packs. Again, I'm not sure how many it is because I want to complete our roster. Could be 10, could be 8, could be 6. I'm not so sure. So hopefully you guys understand the base of this, of what we're trying to accomplish here. We're going to try to win a Stanley Cup. We've only accomplished it once. One time we accomplished it last year. We've won the Stanley Cup, and it was after like 10 or 15 episodes. So it's pretty rare that you get such a powerful team to go ahead and go all the way in a GM mode simulation and go to the Stanley Cup. And there's a few other rules and stuff I'll mention at the end of the video regarding MVPs and upgraded players and all that good stuff. So we have 3 of these smaller packs and then 3 of the 15Ks with 20 items in them. So let's go ahead and get this thing started. We're going to skip all the animations, all that stuff. So Sean Matthias, not a bad third liner. Who else we got here? We got David Perron, not so bad at all, and Brian Boyle. So 3 pretty decent forwards. I will take that. Not bad at all. Perron's going to be pretty good in GM mode. That's a pretty decent start. Let's go with pack number 2 here. I know last time when we did this in NHL 16, the problem was finding a goaltender, and there was times where we had to roll with like a 78 overall goalie. So that could be a big issue here, but we get Shane Doan, not so bad, Clayton Stoner, any other players, Andre Padan. So kind of a slower start, but we got Shane Doan, that's not so bad. All right, so a pretty slow start here. We've got really no first liners, no real defensemen. Let's go with pack number 3 here, and then we're gonna get into the big guns. Let's go Eddie Lack. Okay, there's our goalie. That's not bad. Simone Dupre, a decent defenseman. Another David Perron. Okay, now here is where it gets interesting. So you got David Perron, but xTech, you've already pulled a David Perron. What are you going to do? Well, let me explain it. So we're going to go on the market and we're going to buy the first 85 overall card that we find, whether it's the crappiest 85 or whether it's the best 85. No matter what, the first 85 that we find, we got to go buy them. We're just going to search on the market for the first 85 overall card that we can find, and it is going to be Jacob Trouba for 1,500 coins. I will take that. He's pretty good in GM mode. We didn't get time to buy him, but no matter what, he's going to be on the GM mode team. That's pretty decent. All right, we got the big guns here. We got the big packs. Let's go with the gold plus. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Skip the animation. I don't see a player right off the bat. I see nothing. Okay, Nick Shore, Dion Phaneuf. That's pretty decent. He's good in GM mode. Adam Henrique's good as well. Matt Stajan, a good depth player for us. Tara Vinen, not so bad. Man, we're getting a lot of decent players here. And Eddie Lack again. Okay, so here we go. Once again, we got to go on the market and find the first 84 overall player. So that actually hasn't happened that often. So it's weird that it's happened in back-to-back packs. Back to the market we go, and we got to find an 84 overall player. All right, here we go. The first 84 overall card on the market. Hopefully it's not another Eddie Lack. Let's see here. 83. No 84s. Okay, what do we got here? 84, 86, 85. No 84s. Where are all the 84s at? 86, 85, 83, 82. Come on. 83, 86, 85. No 84s? Really? I see a Duncan Keith out there. Joe Pavelski. No 84s. Does the market just not have any 84 overall players? So many 86s, so many 83s. I'll take that Tavares, but wow, okay. No 84s yet. We might be searching for a little while. There you go. Matt Matt Dumba. Okay, there's another decent defenseman for us. It's just turning out not that bad. So I'm looking at our squad here, and we don't have that great of a team. We have 2 packs left. We may have to actually open up a couple of more packs to get a complete roster. Jonathan Bernier, there's our backup goalie. Matt Bolesky, not so bad. Casey Cizikas, some decent depth players. Nick Bjugstad and Ryan Murphy. Oh, Jack Johnson as well. All right, so we got a lot of defensemen, but Nick Bjugstad is definitely nice. So we got one more pack left, and we don't have a complete team yet. It's okay, though. This is just a little bit of a test for the first episode, so I know I have to open up more than 6 packs. Let's go here with the last pack, potentially the last pack, depending on what we get here. Mark Mathot, another defenseman. Colton Sevier, nothing that great. Jimmy Hayes, Nick Shore again, Mike Fisher. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to go ahead and open up one more pack because our defense still is not quite set yet, and we need a couple of more forwards. So let me open up one more pack, which is gonna be the last one. A few decent players, but we're gonna go with one more pack. Okay, we're gonna go one more pack to finish it off. We're missing a few pieces here, but I think we're going to complete it here with this pack. So let's see what we can get. We're gonna go item by item here, not skipping anything. Brent Seabrook, there is a stud defenseman, 87 overall. That's sick. Brendan Manning. Okay, this whole pack just makes it worth it now with him. Mr. Seabrook, Paul Martin as well. There you go. Those are our 2 rares, so I don't think we're gonna get a whole bunch more. But Brent Seabrook is definitely the pull of this episode. Not so bad. Let me go ahead and throw this all into a GM mode, and I'll see you guys in a second. Alright, here we go. We have assembled our team. We are the Tokyo Tigers. I didn't go crazy with all the logos and the arenas because it really doesn't even matter what our jerseys look like or what our arena looks like. In the bottom right, you can see next game, Edmonton versus Aces. I actually didn't change their abbreviation, so we're the Tokyo Tiger Aces, if that makes any sense. But here we are. We have a pretty nice team. You can see 88 overall offense, 94 defense, which is pretty impressive, and only 84 goaltending. I went through and just randomized a random team to take out of the league, and as you can see there in the division, there is no Calgary. So Calgary was a lucky team that I substituted for the Tokyo Tigers. So if you want to come up with a name for the next team, let me know in the comments, and I'll pick a random one, maybe one that kind of sounds cool, and I will credit you with it in the next video. So our team is looking like this: Teravainen, Henrique Perron, Jimmy Hayes, Nick Bjugstad, and we also got Shane Doan, Brian Boyle, Sean Matthias, Stajan, Mike Fisher, and Cody Cizikas. So we got an interesting squad. Down the middle, we're pretty good. Our wingers are not bad, but our left wingers could use some work. I'm thinking about putting Doan on the first line, but Teravainen's got those stats. Got the skating category where Doan's a vet. I think I'm going to leave Doan right there. Bolesky, honestly, I think we're pretty much ready to go. Our defense, though, is where we're sick. One of the better defenses in the league, led by Brent Seabrook and Jack Johnson. We got Phaneuf and Trouba. Then we got Mathot and Matt Dumba. That's one of the nicest defensive cores out there. And then goaltending. I didn't even realize that Eddie Lack is only rated 81 overall in GM mode, whereas 84 in HUT. So we're going to roll with Jonathan Bernier here. That's a little bit sketchy, but we're going to slow sim the first game, and then I'm going to go ahead and sim through the first 25 games, catch up with you guys, do another 25 games, so on and so forth. All right, here we go. The first game against the Edmonton Oilers. Preseason is all said and done. Let's go. Last year, we pretty much lost the first game that we simulated every single time. So let's see if we can change that trend. First period, 1-0, Matt Dumba, baby. There you go. Period number 2. Oh shit, they come back. Draisaitl and Nurse. Can we tie it up in the third period? We do. Adam Henrique going into a shootout, and of course, see, it's the curse. It's the curse. We always lose in the first game. I'll see you guys in the next 25 games. We'll do a little recap on where we're at, and then I'll see you guys in a minute. All right, so we are 25 games in. We are 9-14-2. I thought our defense would be holding us up a little bit better, but honestly, it's probably our offense that's not providing enough support. So Teravainen is leading the way with Henrique and Bjugstad. Perron, Fisher, and Brent Seabrook all have over 10 points throughout the first 25 games. Is it our goaltending that could be an issue? Is Jonathan Bernier really not doing that well? Lack's not playing that well. But Bernier is not doing awful, 6-7, where Eddie Lack is 3-7. So I don't know. Maybe we'll just get some more simulation done. Try to see if we can maybe pull out a better couple of months here. We started off good. There's a few games that we were winning like 6-1, and we were crushing people. But then we started to really lose, like 7-1, 5-2, 5-0, 3-0. So I just think the offense is not there. We've been shut out quite a few times. So let's go ahead and slow steam the game against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Can Jonathan Bernier get his revenge? Can he get his revenge against Toronto? First period, 2-0 Stajan and Jimmy Hayes, the ex-Toronto Maple Leaf, Matt Stajan. Period number 2, 3-1, Dion Phaneuf on his old team. There you go. Period number 3, we come out with a victory. Sean Matthias, the ex-Toronto Maple Leaf, once again. Dion Phaneuf and Sean Matthias, they both score on their old team. So did Matt Stajan, and Jonathan Bernier gets the W. That's what I'm talking about. So this Toronto game will be the 50th game of the year, and we are 17-27-5. I'm going to slow sim that one once again because I want to see if the boys can come through here and get revenge on their old team once again. First period, 0-0. Period number 2, 1-1 Austin Matthews and Sean Matthias again on his old team. Third period, David Perron gets the victory. Take that, Toronto. There you go. Sean Matthias once again coming through clutch. But we're still 18-27-5. Probably not going to be a playoff team, which is okay, I guess. It was a decent first run. At the end of the video, though, we're going to tally up all of our scores, all that stuff, and then we're going to get through the MVP. So I'm probably going to get the rest of the simulation done. Unfortunately, we're not going to be a playoff team, but for the MVP, we get to bring over one player from this team over to the next Hut to GM. So we'll talk about that in a little while here, but 36 points for Teravainen, not so bad. Adam Henrique as well, Bjugstad, Perron, Mike Fisher. The thing is, there's just no stud offensive forward. That's our problem, and I mean, our defense is probably good enough. They're actually doing pretty well, but everything else, I don't think it's really there. Our goaltending is pretty weak. That's why I'm stressing getting such a good goaltender is such an important deal. Jonathan Bernier here is 13-17, and Lack is 5-12. So those goalies have seen better days. That is definitely not ideal. So I'll see you guys at the end of the year. Maybe we could go on a crazy streak and push a playoff run, but honestly, that's gonna have to be like a miracle. I can't see that happen. All right, the last simulation of the year. I don't think we're gonna be a playoff team. So test number 1 is a failure. First period, 3-1. Jack Johnson gets the goal, but Richards, Bodker, and Patty Marleau, they make it 3-1 after the first period. Number 2, 5-1 and 6-1. We get shit on there. That one definitely hurt, but we are not a playoff team, and that's all right. That's okay. The first test is a failure, but you're gonna get more failures than victories, especially in this series. So prepare to lose quite a bit, but also prepare to be surprised. There's one time where we had like an 84 overall goalie, or 83. No, it was 83. I believe it was Antti Ranta, and we went all the way to the Stanley Cup Finals, eventually losing. So anything can happen in this series. You can see there we got pumped by the Anaheim Ducks there, 7-1. But that is going to be it. Regular season has ended. We did not compete that great. We did not do what I set out to do, which was obviously make the playoffs, but we finished last in our division with a measly 73 points. Let's go ahead and see here who led our team in scoring, and that will determine who is going to be the MVP for next episode. So Teravainen had 57 points in 82 games. Not so bad. He was a -4. I think everyone was a minus, except for Mike Fisher. That's not so bad. 54 points for Henrique, 42. Everyone kind of didn't really do that fantastic. A lot of mid-20 point scorers. Brent Seabrook, 28 points. And automatically, you want to make Brent Seabrook your MVP because he's the highest overall. But there's no point. If I'm going to make him the MVP, I might as well make Dion Phaneuf the MVP. So what I'm going to do, I think, is I'm going to go ahead and make Teravainen the MVP. So what is the MVP, you ask? Well, we add a +2 to his stats for the next episode. So he is going to be 85 overall for the next episode, and that is going to be our first ever MVP. Have a look at the goalies here, and as you can see here, Jonathan Bernier had 4 shutouts, 28 and 29, and Eddie Lack did not help out our record at all. So getting a goalie is going to be crucial. Hopefully that can happen in the next episode. Here is our all-time stats. Obviously, this is only the first first episode, so our overall record is 34, 43, and 5. Last year we did 2 MVPs, an offensive and a defensive MVP, but I feel like we should only have one, just for right now. We can implement more rules as the series goes on, but thank you guys for watching. These ones are a little bit longer than what they usually are. I kind of just wanted to explain all of the details and kind of get you guys to wrap your head around what the series is if you haven't watched it in the past. So thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next one.